A distinctive draft has undertaken the kind of sports in 15 jails through the nation, and its benefits are possessing an enormous effect on inmates, both of time in jail and while they are liberated. In one Turin prison, the trend to reoffend in rugby football playing inmates is on 25% compared in regular figures of on 70%, on to oval old le spar, rugby football for the stick, that is over the schema. This aim is to promote, via the specific annex of rugby football's values, honor for the rules, for yours enemy, for the judge, for the supporters, to the socialization of detainees, says Stefano Cantoni of the Italian Rugby Football Federation, Silver Fur, that is supporting the draft. This results so far show the undeniable advantageous effects on the humane relations during the imprisonment, via a new gratitude of every sum. It as well giving a new web how can be priceless for inmates' reintegration in civilian community. Odd item, the concept began in 2009 while the CEO of Turin's Larusso e Cutugno jail, Pietro Buff, bring down in loving in rugby football following a trip to New Zealand. Possessing already entered box, soccer and basketball game to his jail, he requested to see if rugby football's values could get origin amongst the inmates. Possessing never play, he named on the area's favorite rugby football son Walter Rista, the Piedmont area's largest capped gamer, who emerging on the fender for Italy 5 times in the 1970s. A test matchstick was organized in February 2010 to measuring device concern, and learning sessions began quickly following. The Ladrola draft was unborn. This vision was to set up the at first penitentiary rugby football crew, the Ladrola Rugby Football Sport Associate, in the Piedmont vernacular, drola tool, odd item or stupid item, says Rista. The at first formal matchstick among a crew of inmates and an external 15 took location in October 2011. Accountable were achieving the bosses how the was possessing a favorable impact on inmates' natural and psychological so-being. Rista marked the increasing standard of unity among teammates, a feeling of share and person liability. This nice results of the at first year testing were really hopeful, but following the successful of the Drola draft, down there were hundreds of inadvertent inmates' customer request to be turned on in the crew, of Turin as so as of some penitentiaries about Italy, adds Rista. Stringent protocols yet, the at first year of the draft were hard. Behavior in a team of individuals in various ethnicities and languages is difficult quite in a jail, up you add in the environment of kind of sports and the restrictions on area and means. Several inmates had low levels of sport ability, and down there are evident diet limitations and stringent protocols during any connection. Advantage, Lot did not aware the at first item on rugby football. But the draft collected step while the FER coordinated to enable the crew to take part in the National Serie C League versus foreign teams. The allows a righteous expertise for such within the walls and for the external actors who must go in to act, adds Cantoni. Involvement in the league by Ladrola and Giallo Daza, a jail in Bologna, and before recent year of the Bisanti, a maximal safety jail in Frosinone, was carried out thanks to the opposition who coordinated to act all matches versus these teams within their institutions. All household and off games are play within the imprisonment. Rugby football's values looking striker, Cantoni would love to see more than cash creature done accessible for some jail teams to act in leagues. He would as well love the institutions to get liability for financing care cost, superior food and for game and learning material. And he urges amateurish clubs on the external to act a more portion in help reintegrate offenders in community. For Rista, the benefits of the draft are clear and precise. Each year several inmates are reinserted in community, and lot of them are required to act or learn rugby football on the external, he says. Rugby football's values are excellently fit in inmates as necessary for rehab. To sample, 1 year down there were 2 inmates who requested to delay their produce fare so they could be portion of the crew while they completed competitive in how year's league. This Drola crew is now really so named within and external of Piedmont, and several some such draft include been startup in some Italian regions. In fall 2016 down there was the at first matchstick among two penitentiary rugby football teams, in Bologna. Inmates of Turin were past external LaRusso to act the matchstick. Giallo Dazza 1 He. Human beings frequently say of rugby football as a play out of national borders. In Italy, not though guard and prickly cable can conduct it behind.